Welcome back, to Building $1 Million Business. Let's get all of our channels connected. We're going to be on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, as well as TikTok. Let's get connected. Come on, Instagram. Let's go. Just give me the light so I can go. Come on now. Give it to me. Come on, Insti. There we go. We're back. Let's go. We're back in that thing. Greater than ever, better than ever, more blessed than ever. Welcome back, game changers. Welcome back, go-getters. Welcome back, entrepreneurs. Welcome back, hustlers. Welcome back, mid-level professionals. Welcome back, corporate executives. Welcome back. What are we doing? Why are we here? We're building $1 million business. And as always, I'm your host, as well as your guide on this thing, known as Patrick Hart, and in some circles known as that healthcare guy. So listen, let me give you some energy today. Yesterday, I was reflecting and, we changed it up. It was episode 101. Today's going to be episode 102. And today we're going to be talking about, just basically what's on my mind, how we're going to build this baby out, right? And so today's episode is going to be episode 102. And I titled this, "That Move That Changed Everything." And basically, this is going to be me reflecting on the move that I made that's actually leading to the biggest growth as well as impact while I'm building this thing out, all right? So y'all bear with me. We're going to be streaming across LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, as well as Instagram. We got the whole family in one place, as we always do. And officially, I'm going to make sure right now the comment boxes are going to be open. So family, if there's something on your mind, there's something on your chest, there's something you agree with, you disagree with, you just want to show love, or you want to add your 2 cents, you know what to do. Put it in the chat box. That's why it's there for you. So say what's on your mind. So Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, as well as TikTok. I see you, Vasquez. I see you, Romero. I see you, Layu. I see you, Flower. I see you, Big Sadie. I see you, Son of Odin. I see you, Belly James. I see you, Miguel. Get the whole family. We're going to be here. Episode 102. Family, before we get into today's episode, let me do this because you've been rocking with me quite some time. We kicked this thing out January the 11th, 2026. Here we are, June the 2nd, 2026. So we're almost a good 5 solid whole months into building this thing. Let's give you a round of applause. I really do appreciate y'all. Y'all been rocking with me. I really do appreciate y'all. So let's get into today's episode. Without further ado, what is it, Patrick? Tell me. Drum roll, please. Boom, let's go. Episode 102. Now we're back in that thing. The move that changed everything, family. I'm about to get into this. If it's your first time here, what are we doing? Why are you here? We're building out $1 million business. I'll become your proof point to show you that you too can build $1 million brand and you can do it in 12 months. All right. That's the goal, right? So we got 2 big goals. We're generating $1 million in revenue. We're doing it in 1 year. The second big goal is we're building out a 50,000 member ecosystem inside the newsletter. That's kind of what today's topic is about, because I want to talk to you about what I've been thinking about, and maybe it's something that is going to impact you as well. But the move that changed everything, I'm going to get right into it. Remember, the comment box is open right now. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, as well as Instagram. Episode 102. Oh man, I've been thinking about something lately, and I want to share with you. I mean, you know me. I go back, I reflect, and then I come here, and I feel like this is a safe place where I can say what's on my mind. I can tell you what I've really been going through. I can tell you my thoughts. And I feel like I'm not judged here. I feel like there's more support right here. So I really do appreciate the support you've been giving me. But I've really been thinking a lot lately. I was like, okay, when people look at a growing business, like when you really start to analyze and you break down a growing business, I see you, Mr. KMP. Thanks for the love. I appreciate you. When people start looking at a growing business, they usually assume that there was one big moment that created this breakthrough and then the business blew up, right? That's normally what we think, right? Like one big opportunity, one big introduction, somebody introduced you to somebody, and then all of a sudden, boom, you blew up, your brand blew up, something like that. Like one big moment that changed everything, and then there's no coming back. And if I'm being honest, like it rarely happens. It normally doesn't happen like that. Y'all know it's true. Like it rarely ever happens. You hear every now and then those breakthrough stories, but the average person like you and I, we got to bust our chops, right? To get to where we want to be, right? Sometimes and so most of the times, growth, it comes from one decision, and people don't realize that in the moment when you're making those decisions. Listen, a decision that doesn't look important in the moment is usually what happens, but it's usually where everything begins to change. And it's not instant, but it's gradually over time. And for me, I had to identify, or actually I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, Pat, what's that one moment where just everything changed in the business and you begin to blow up? And I'm not saying like a hot air balloon blow up. I'm not talking about Kevin Hart blow up. I'm just talking about in my lane blowing up, where recognition became a thing, where people started recognizing my name, where they started recognizing my impact, when my content started blowing up, things like that, right? Like when it started moving the business, and I realized I started getting those signals, right? I'm going to share that with you. I appreciate the love. Thank you, family. Listen, and since so many people are just now joining, thank y'all for joining. Invite other like-minded individuals to these lives. I do these every single day, noon Central Standard Time. We're building out $1 million business. I'm your host. We're building out in public. So I'll become your proof point, basically your guide, your navigator, to show you how to build $1 million brand and do it in 12 months. So the people that's been rocking with me, thank you. We're in episode 102, okay? If you're a returning viewer, you know what I say, family. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I appreciate y'all. I really, really do. I appreciate y'all. So today I'm just sitting here reflecting, and I always feel like this is a safe place where I can sit here and talk to you about what's going on in my mind and how the business is growing. So I really do appreciate it. Remember, the comment box is open. So you want to show some love. There's something in your chest. You agree, you disagree with something. Get it off your chest. Say what you want to say. Already, I see you guys tapping in. I see you, Goodson. I see you, Dig. I see you, SC Pop. I see you, Short. I see you, Use A5. I see you, McLovin. I like that, McLovin. I appreciate you tapping in. Like, okay, so I was looking. I was like, okay, Pat, what's that moment for you where the business just kind of like changed, right? And I was just really thinking about it. I said, okay, what was it? What was it? What was it? What was it? I'm gonna ask y'all this. Have you ever like looked back and realized the one move that quietly altered your trajectory? Like the thing, you did something and maybe you didn't realize it in the moment, but you did that thing and it changed your whole entire trajectory. Maybe it was your career, maybe it was your business, maybe it was your relationships, like that one thing. And I was sitting here, I was thinking about, okay, Pat, what is that one thing? And it's normally it's not something that happened overnight. It's something that gradually changed who you are, who you becoming over a period of time, right? And that's what I want to talk about today. So here's the message, okay? And yesterday I kind of ran a bit long, so maybe I'll try to keep it on the 30-minute parameters today. So let's get into this. The biggest moves usually doesn't feel big when you're making it. Have you ever noticed that? Like something amazing happened in your life and you didn't even realize that it was going to lead to that, but it actually led to that. And you're like, wow, I wish I would have did that sooner. Like, have you ever noticed that? Maybe it's me. You know, again, you guys are my sounding board. I can sit here and have a conversation with you. I'm not judged. You can just kind of listen, tune in, let me know what's going on. So if I had to identify that one move that changed everything for me in this business while I'm building out my $1 million brand, while you guys have been tapping in, while you've been rocking with me, I tell you this, it wasn't launching a product. Nope, that wasn't the case. It wasn't creating a course. That wasn't even the thing. It wasn't posting on LinkedIn. That wasn't even a thing. It wasn't even starting a YouTube channel. That's not the thing that started building my $1 million brand and allowed me to start going viral here, and there. That wasn't a thing. The move that changed everything, and I'm going to tell you this because I feel like I lead with this every single time, but now when I was reflecting on it and think about it, the move that changed everything was building my own audience. That's it. That's the move. Like if you wanted to drop off right here, you probably could, but I'm going to expand on this in some more just to kind of give you some meat on the bone so you can get some insight, some education of what's really going on. The move that changed everything was building an audience for me. And I talk about this all the time. So the way I decided I was going to build my audience was through a newsletter, right? And if I'm being truthful, like I'm keeping it a buck, I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I didn't fully appreciate it when I started the newsletter. Something just told me, you know what, that's what you need to do. Pat, you need to build a newsletter. Pat, you need to build a newsletter. Something, maybe it was a divine intervention. Maybe that's what it does. Who knows? You know, I believe in God. I'm a religious person. Maybe it was the hand on me. Who knows? I don't know, but something said, hey, Pat, build a newsletter. Start creating your own audience. Create your own ecosystem. So I'm going to get into that, but I always challenge you guys, and I always tell you, there's more than one way to build $1 million brand, right? And for me, I decided, okay, I'm gonna do it through the newsletter. And at first, when I made that decision, okay, it felt like a simple decision. It said, okay, all you got to do, I got to write, I got to share, I got to send, I got to request. Nothing glamorous, like nothing. It was nothing glamorous, nothing amazing, nothing exciting, nothing that would make people say, "Wow, Pat's genius." Like I didn't have any Kanye West moments, no Netflix series, nothing like that. Like nothing came from the decision behind it. But now, family, I think it might be one of the most important things that I'm building right now is the newsletter. Let I mean, y'all let that sink in really quick. Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, as well as TikTok. We're at episode 102. So thank you, family, for joining. We're talking about one of the biggest moves that's actually changing the business right now. And so here's what I realized. Here's what I realized, family. I'm trying to get you out here. I see you, Dallas Richie. I see you, Short. Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, as well as TikTok. The whole family's in one place. Here's the other thing. Invite other like-minded individuals. I do these every single day, noon Central Standard Time. We're building $1 million business. I'm your host as well as your guide. The goal is to show you, become the proof point, how you build out $1 million brand and you do it in public. So that's exactly what I'm doing. People have been tapping in. The newsletter's been growing like crazy, and I really do appreciate your support. So here's what I realized. Social media, and I've been sharing this with you guys before, but social media is borrowed land. I think we realize that, right? LinkedIn can change, YouTube can change, algorithms can change, reach can change, everything can change, right? Through social media, if we're relying on social media to grow our business. But when somebody joins your newsletter, that's different. It really, really is. Like now, you know what there is? Like now there's a direct relationship included in the newsletter. Now, there's no algorithm sitting in the middle between me and the people that join the newsletter. Now, there's no platform deciding whether or not people is going to see my content or not, right? Or the message that I'm trying to deliver that day. And dude, when I'm just sitting there reflecting, I'm like, dude, that's powerful. Like thinking that someone saw enough value and decided that they wanted to tap in, they wanted to add their name to the list, they wanted to be part of something bigger than themselves, thinking to themselves that this is the community where, man, not only can I develop, I can learn, and I can be in a community that's actually impacting other people and building people up. Like that's a real network. And we all know this before. Your net worth kind of depends on your network, right? So your network is a baseline for where you see yourself going for your growth as well. So, they say birds of a feather flock together. Basically what it is. I'm creating millionaires inside the newsletter. And then if you're sitting here and you're like, okay, well, dude, have you ever done that before? I want to share with you guys. I had a successful corporate career before I became an entrepreneur. Like I was an executive in the room that sold a $750 million technology company back in 2018. It was only in 2023 I decided to bet on myself and become an entrepreneur, right? So in 2023, I became a full-time entrepreneur. And then by end of 2025, I was like, this is dope. There's new skills you have to learn for being an entrepreneur, from going from a corporate executive to an entrepreneur. And I was like, okay, I'm learning these skills, but I feel like there's other people that can benefit from me learning in public. So that's why I decided to create, this building $1 million business in public. Because so many people, like you're building something, you kind of understand what you should be doing, but no one's really handed you the playbook. That's exactly what I'm doing. Like the goal is to start handing people the playbook. Hey, here's the playbook. Here's how we go from here to here. Here's how we go from here to here, right? So that's what I've been building up in public. Basically the framework and the playbook in public, right? Have you ever noticed that some creators, like they spend years, they building audiences, but they never build a direct connection with their audience? Y'all know people like that? Y'all know creators like that? Right? Like they never built that relationship with their audience. You're like, dude, well, what was the point of doing all that creating if you didn't even want to establish a relationship with people? Right? For me, I think that's the most valuable thing I can do. If I can sit here in the camera and I can have a conversation with you and you can tell me, hey, I agree with you, disagree with me. You know what it does? It challenges my thinking. It makes me really get outside my own belief system. And I think we don't have enough of that right now. Well, what we have naysayers, but you don't have supporters that will come on screen and support you. They say, okay, I believe in what you're doing, but have you thought about this? Or have you tried that? Right? That's when you open yourself up like that as a creator and you start building direct relationships, it changes the game. Like now, I don't feel like I'm by myself. I'm not a solopreneur anymore. Man, I got thousands of people that support me across different platforms. And I understand it. It's risky. It's not for everybody. And I realize that. But listen to this. Visibility without ownership, it creates dependency. Okay. Remember, I'm building out $1 million business in public. So I'm going back. I'm telling you what I'm learning. I'm coming here and I share it with you. Again, this is a safe space. I can tell you what's on my mind. You can guys give me love. You can agree with me, disagree, whatever you want to do. Right. But I'm telling you what's going on. But I feel like visibility without ownership, it creates dependency, because now you become dependent on social media. You become dependent on algorithms. You become dependent on so many things for your influence and your impact to be amplified. For me, the newsletter changes that, right? Now, every piece of content, it has somewhere to go. Every lesson has somewhere to live. Every relationship has somewhere to be deepened. And it changes my thinking. So now let me think out loud for a minute. I kind of feel like I've already been thinking out loud this whole time, but let me continue to think out loud. Like the newsletter, it's not growing as fast as social media ever will, right? It never will. Like that's not the expectations, not even close. But that's not the point. You're like, okay, well, what are we supposed to be doing? That's not the point. The point is like the quality is different from the newsletter subscribers. The relationships are different on the inside. The intent is different. Like people who subscribe, they're raising their hands and they're saying, you know what? They're saying, I want more. I want more of that. That's what they're saying. I want more of that. Like that's the kind of insight, that's the kind of knowledge, that's the kind of frameworks that I can grow from. These are the kind of people that I can learn from. These are the kind of people that I can develop with. Like they're wanting more. Like, and that's valuable to me. It truly is valuable. So what I'm noticing right now is this: the newsletter readers, they engage differently at a different level, right? They respond differently, they trust differently, and eventually I believe they'll buy differently too. Like that's my thought process when I'm building this thing out. And I'm using all that as a signal. Sometimes you got to look for those green lights. You got to look for those signals when you're building a thing. What's that positive signal that's like popping up on your screen, that's popping up in your head? You're like, man, this thing is actually starting to work. Like your brand is starting to blow up, or you're starting to gain some recognition, some attention right there. And that's a signal. So it's a really important signal for me, because when I start seeing people like join, and now we're approaching 7,000, and the goal is to get to 50,000 by the end of the year. So we got 6 full months to get there. And I feel like every single day I'm getting 1% better, 1% better, 1% better. My messaging, my delivery, my thought process, the collaborations that are taking place, the content that's being pushed out there, everything is just getting better, right? Like there's a piece of content I dropped today, just this morning on LinkedIn, just one piece of content. And already it's got like 20,000 impressions within 5-6 hours, 20,000 impressions within 5 or 6 hours. So that means that I'm starting to study more about what's working, what's not working, and then the impact is coming from that. So on that one piece of content already, I dropped it this morning, one piece of content. I got 10 new followers off of one piece of content, just one piece of content, right? So I am learning more in the process, and I'm coming here and I'm sharing it with you, which is why so much of what I'm doing now points back to one destination, which is the newsletter. So I'm back to the newsletter. And it's not because there's anything exciting about the newsletter. It doesn't have, diamonds, and there's no bling, and I don't have rappers and artists and inside the newsletter, but it's strategic, right? It's strategy in motion for me. And I'm sitting here and I'm sharing it with you guys because, again, this is a safe place. I can talk to you. You're not going to judge me, but if anything, you're going to get more support than anything. So I appreciate that. Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, as well as TikTok. We're all in one place. Don't forget the comment boxes are open. I appreciate you guys jumping in. Thank you. So now there's an ecosystem that I've created, right? Which my voice, my writing, and the face, I become the face and a connector within a community. And for me, I'm looking at this. I'm like, dude, Pat, that's dope. That's dope. So if you guys are just now joining, we're on episode 102. We're building out $1 million business in public. I'm Patrick Hart. I'll become not only your host, but also your navigator into how we build out our $1 million brand, and we do it in 1 year, right? And already we've been blowing up exponentially, right? Feel like it's a TI word. We've been blowing up like crazy. So this is starting to affect the way that I'm starting to think about my decisions and how I think about making decisions for the business. Now, when you guys see me create content, or when I start creating content, I start asking myself, I'm like, okay, Pat, does what you're about to do, does it strengthen the newsletter? Because I need to pause and reflect on that, right? Does it strengthen the newsletter? When I launch something now, I start asking myself, okay, does this strengthen the newsletter? When I start thinking about partnerships and the people that I collaborate with, I start asking myself, does this also strengthen the newsletter? Everything for me right now, when I'm building out this $1 million brand, is starting to flow through that lens, right? I'm starting to push everything back to the newsletter. And it's not because the newsletter is the business. That's not the case. But we need to understand this. The newsletter strengthens the business. Y'all realize that, right? So now I have a hub where I can grow my business, but also have a support system. I got an ecosystem inside of a community inside the newsletter. So this, like, if you want to know how we're going to get to $1 million, we're creating our own ecosystem. Once you create your own ecosystem, then people, they rock, they move, they dip, and they follow your journey. But as you move, as you rock, as you pivot, those people, they move, they rock, and they pivot with you, right? And that's so valuable because that's where the value is going to be. I see you, Rob Dunn, YouTube. Thanks for tapping in. I see you, family on Instagram. I appreciate you guys tapping in. My TikTok family's blowing up. I appreciate you guys. Everything is starting to flow through that lens now. And that's a big difference when you start to just sit and think about, okay, how do we build your wealth system? How do we build your wealth system? It's, for me, it's becoming the center of an ecosystem that I actually started. This is the place where trust begins to compound, right? This is the place where relationships, they begin to get deepened and people start learning from each other. This is the place where opportunities begin to get created. This is the place where collaborations, they start to happen for a lot of people. So let me land this, baby. Let me get you out of here. Yesterday, I was a little bit long-winded. I had a lot that was on my mind. Today, I'm always got a lot of stuff on my mind, but I try to keep it within that 30-minute parameter. So let me land this thing. So when I look at this journey and I ask myself, I always have to reflect. I think that's a big piece of every entrepreneur's, maybe a creator's journey, is you can spend just as much time creating content, but you need to spend just as much time reflecting on the journey, reflecting on what's working, what's not working, and how do we get 1% better each and every day, right? So when I look at this journey and I ask myself, okay, what move changed everything for you, Patrick? What's that move that just changed everything? And I keep coming back to the same answer each and every time. It's the newsletter. It really is. And it's not the platform. It's not the platform that the newsletter is sitting on. It's just the principle behind it, like the ownership that it creates, the direct relationships that I actually have now. And I know a lot of people that always tap in. You guys are like, okay, I want to build my $1 million brand. I want to get that promotion. I want to be visible enough where I'm recognized for the work that I bring to the table. I want to create a playbook where I have freedom. I can decide whether or not I want to work a 9 to 5, or I want to create generational wealth for myself because I've never done that before. I've never had a circle of influence of people who actually stepped outside of our circle and done something meaningful. I want to be that person, right? And that's what I'm trying to help people do. Like, trust that compounds over time. That's what I'm building right now. That's what I'm betting on. I'm betting that's going to change the whole entire game. And if I'm being honest with you, I think a lot of people are overlooking this. Like, this opportunity, it doesn't look exciting enough for a lot of people. So you're thinking, man, I have to have a shiny product. I have to have a shiny website page. I have to have a service where it's tangible and people can touch it or feel it and things like that. But I want to challenge you, family, when you're building your $1 million brand, some of the things you may want to consider is a newsletter. Real talk, you may want to consider a newsletter because it's your own ecosystem. You're not relying on algorithms, social media, or anything to impact your delivery to the people that rocks with you. But the things that compound, man, when things start compounding, it changes the game. That's really, fam, that's what I'm thinking about today. So I want to end with that. Give me a round of applause. It was nothing big today. It's just some stuff that was on my mind. I want to drop in and let you know what I'm thinking, how we're going to continue to grow this thing out. The newsletter's been absolutely amazing right now. If you haven't joined the newsletter, I'm about to drop my branding and visibility $1 million playbook. It has one main purpose: not only make you visible, but to actually give you the framework and the playbook to build out your $1 million brand. And you can do it in 12 months, right? So it's step by step in that. I created that thing. I put a lot of love, a lot of effort into it. And I've been talking about it the last couple of weeks because here's the thing. Sometimes strategy needs to be part of your tools or your techniques. Like, I could come here and I can say, okay, it's done, which has been done for like 2 weeks now, 2 or 3 weeks it's been done. And I can just drop it. But sometimes you got to like build up the value. You got to help people understand, like, what are you going to get in this? So I had a whole week. Was it last week? We talked about some of the value that you're going to get inside that, right? And so it's not just about rushing to put things out there. It's about making sure that it's going to be valuable enough where people are going to tune in, they're going to rock, they're going to invest, and then we can actually start changing people's lives. Anyway, that's my thought process for the day, family. I do appreciate you guys. Thank you for showing love. Until next time, invite other like-minded individuals. See you on the inside. Much love.